2026 NCAA tournament is just around the corner, and the bubble talk is starting to heat up. Obviously, we're talking about the Aztecs a little bit, but the rest of college basketball teams have roughly 3 weeks until Selection Sunday to make a statement. Right now, the key question for fans: who's in, who's out, and who still has work to do today. Break down some of those trends, highlight key bubble movers, and look at what to watch this week. Bubble snapshot by conference for the SEC. Their locks: Florida, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Alabama should be in. Kentucky, Georgia, Texas A&M, and Auburn, and Texas and Missouri still have work to do. What are some of the key takeaways?
Also got our Kansas in there as well. Some of those key takeaways: Kentucky has hit a rough patch after 3 straight losses, but still boasts 5 quadrant 1 wins, a tough stretch ahead with multiple top-level opponents. Georgia's recent victories over Kentucky and Texas have boosted them back into should-be-in territory with an easier finish on paper. Auburn as well in this remains a wild card, 5 quad 1 wins against one of the toughest schedules in the country, but only 15-12 overall. The committee will weigh records versus strength of schedule heavily, which might leave Auburn on the outside looking in.
Big Ten had a pretty good weekend over the weekend. Locks, of course, are Michigan, Purdue, Illinois, Nebraska, Michigan State, Wisconsin. They're all going to be in the NCAA tournament. Iowa and UCLA should be in at this point in time. Indiana, Ohio State, and USC still have work to do. And a big key takeaway over the weekend: UCLA recovered from that recent loss with an overtime win over Illinois, still hovering near the 85% consensus odds. They made a big jump. Ohio State continues to alternate wins and losses, making them a classic bubble team with inconsistent momentum. Iowa's stretch run is very critical for the Big Ten and for Iowa. After losing 3 of 4 recently, they have wins against Ohio State, Penn State, and they're essentially which are essential to solidify their spot. So if they can beat Ohio State and Penn State, they would be really in a lot better spot to be able to lock instead of just should be in. What's the ACC looking like?
Did you just have a 23-point lead on me?
Yeah, that's the greatest.
For the ACC, the locks should be Duke, Virginia, Louisville, North Carolina, and NC State. SMU, Clemson, and Miami should be in. Virginia Tech and Cal do have work to do. Clemson has cooled off a little bit after 4 straight losses, but still maintain a strong resume for an ACC bid. Miami sits in the mid 80% range for at-large odds with 2 more quadrant 1 chances remaining. And Va Tech remains on the outside, needing key wins over both North Carolina and Virginia in order to remain viable.
As for the Big 12, the locks, of course: Arizona, Houston, Iowa State, Kansas, Texas Tech, BYU, all having great years. The top half of the Big 12 is the best in college basketball. UCF kind of in the should be in category. They did regain control of the Big 12 potential 7th at-large bid as they had a good week against TCU and Utah. TCU and Cincinnati still have work to do, but Cincinnati had a big win over the weekend. They knocked off Kansas on the road. Their tournament hopes are remote, but they are still hanging around. They need some major wins and a little bit of luck to go their way. As for TCU, they've had a very much a seesaw season, and that has them hovering around 30% at large odds. They got one big shot left at Texas Tech. They should be able to take care of business against the other teams that they have remaining on the schedule, but playing a team like Texas Tech, who now doesn't have JT Toppin, opens the door for TCU. If they win that game, they're almost in the should-be-in category of waiting on the Big 12 tournament. But the Big 12 tournament is going to be must-watch. In terms of other conferences, mid-majors, Gonzaga, Utah State should be locks. St. Louis and St. Mary's should both be in, and teams with work to do, one of them here in town, but Miami of Ohio, who's undefeated, by the way, just in case they don't win their conference. Santa Clara, New Mexico, Virginia Commonwealth, who had a fight with St. Louis last week, San Diego State, and Belmont, all with work to do. There's a lot of key takeaways, but what is the key takeaway for the Aztecs?
For San Diego State, they have fallen off the bubble after consecutive losses. New Mexico has the edge in the Mountain West if only 2 bids are awarded. Now, if you're the Aztecs, though, you look at your remaining schedule, you have Utah State, Boise State, New Mexico, and UNLV. So you've got 3 quad 1 opportunities if you're San Diego State plus UNLV. So you have the ability to possibly make a case for yourself in the last gasp, but with that loss against Colorado State, that really, really set you back.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be very interesting this week. I mean volatility, Auburn, Ohio State, San Diego State, Santa Clara exemplify how a single loss or a single big win can swing the odds dramatically. Momentum matters here more than ever in the last weeks of the regular season. Strength versus record. I mean, Auburn and TCU are more impressive on paper with tough schedules, but mediocre overall records. And will the committee reward difficulty over what they've seen? Mid majors to watch: St. Louis, St. Mary's, Miami of Ohio. They could make some noise if they finish strong, but history shows a single marquee win can dramatically influence committee decisions. And the conference power: SEC and Big Ten look poised to lead in bids, while the ACC and the Big 12 remain slightly more volatile at the bubble's edge, but also have played better. I mean, the Big Ten and the SEC keep getting a lot of credit, but the wins are going to the ACC and the Big 12.